Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk.
What's up, everybody? Big Hurt Prison Talk. You tuned into another episode of one of the dopest shows on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to Fresh Out, you're a motherfucking weenie. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also, tell your friends about this channel. We're trying to reach that 500,000 mark. We got some big giveaways we're doing, and we love to hear from you guys. Also, subscribe to our social media, our Twitter, our Instagram, which is FreshOutSeries, and check out our website, which is FreshOutSeries.com, and leave your input. We would love to hear from you, and I'd love to get to your questions if it's something I haven't answered. I had a question for one of our viewers. Guidance. Hey man, big fan of your show. Just got plugged through Cali Muscle channel. Very interesting topics. You say you didn't have anyone guiding you in your younger years to do the right thing. I thought I heard in a video. Looking back, do you think that there was possibly someone trying to tell you the right path? Maybe not a father or uncle, but grandmother or grandfather or even mother. I find a lot of times dudes say they didn't have a dad, but many times there are others in their lives that did try to be an influence, but they chose not to listen anyways. Thanks, man. Keep doing your thing. You know, having a person in your life to kind of give you insight is, you know, a lot of people think it's a given. My mom, you know, she was a positive role model. You know, she would, you know, talk to me about different things. But when I say having a male figure, a male mentor, it goes beyond just somebody buying you food, buying you clothes, somebody, you know, watching a basketball game on TV with you. I'm talking about really mentoring. See, people don't know what it means to mentor. Just because you have a parent and they do all the basic necessities and they give you shelter, there's a lot of other things beyond that that are very important in shaping a young adult. You know, your most impressionable years are 13, 14, 15, 16. You know, the terrible adolescent, you know, years where you're just trying to find yourself. You got hormones jumping off. You know, you're going from junior high to high school. You start thinking about women. You start thinking about money. You start thinking about, you know, different things you want to do with your life. And, you know, it's a rough ride, man. And, you know, my grandfather, you know, was one of the few male figures that was around me during those times. But, I mean, he worked and, you know, he would say, hey, man, leave those knuckleheads alone, or don't do this, don't do that. But he didn't have the game. He didn't know how to sit down and talk. He was raised by a woman. So he had no male father figure. So you're talking about a cycle. And, you know, a grandmother, she can give you love. A mom can give you love. But a woman cannot raise a man. You need a man to give a man certain qualities that are going to allow him to be a man. And so that he can, you know, pass those on to his kids. So, you know, women are emotional. You know, women think differently than men when they look at situations. You know, men, when they do things, they do them a lot of times behind aggressiveness or assertiveness or, you know, sternness. So it teaches you how to be a man. You know, you go out there and do this, I'm gonna whoop that ass. You know, come here, let me holler at you, man. You know, you need to go about doing this, this, and this, or, you know, let me take you over here and talk to so-and-so, and maybe this is something you might want to do after college. You know, what are you dealing with right now? You know, teaching you how to fight, teaching you how to wrestle. teaching you how to rationalize judgment, teaching you how to judge other males. You know, a woman can't tell you how to judge another male, but a male can. Your pops or your uncle or a relative say, hey man, you know, them cats right there, man, they pieces of shit. You know why? Blah, 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 blah. I went through this, I went through that. You know, that male is gonna give you a perspective that you're gonna look at differently than what you would get from a woman. And just look at some of these males being raised now, man. They're demasculinized, they're feminine, they have no toughness, they run from danger, you know, they're full of fear. I mean, anxiety. Man, what the fuck, man? You know, a bunch of weak ass motherfucking boys. So, you know, you talk about women raising men, yeah, they can raise them to grow up and be a fucking weenie. But as far as, yeah, a few of them do come through and become hard hitters, whatever the case may be. But as far as having that other parent in the household, that other male figure, even if it's somebody, a cousin, somebody that takes to you, that kind of shows you the ropes, is very important. So, yeah, my mom wasn't smoking crack. She wasn't running the streets, but at the same time, I needed a male figure, man. I realized that, and I know now, reflecting on all the fucked up things I did in my life, if I would have had that presence, it would have made a difference, man. Because I know now, and I didn't realize that then, but, you know, the guys I looked up to weren't good role models. They were drug dealers, thugs. They were gang members. They were guys who weren't going anywhere in life. So having that father figure, having that male figure, or just someone who can show you some things and check you, makes a big difference. And I didn't meet that person until I got to the federal pen. An OG, man, 20 years my senior, man, laced me up. And, you know, a black male, had his shit together, very articulate, man. He showed me what it was like to be a black man, and to have some type of pride, to value things, to look at life from a different perspective, man. And that's rare. So shout out to the homie Giles. But yeah, man, it does make a difference, and I'm not making any excuses, because that doesn't justify a lot of the mistakes I made. But, you know, nonetheless, I'm sharing with you right now, and that's my opinion, man. You need a man to raise a man.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com.